My name is Amy Gleason, and I am the career coordinator for the College of Health and Human Services. So we're really fortunate that we actually have a career counselor in our college for undergrads. And I always plug the Career Development Center. And I hope you're utilizing the many amazing services of the Career Development Center. I am here to supplement and really target services for our students in our college. Okay, but I always cringe when I meet a senior who says they've never used any of the services at the Career Center. They've never used CareerLink. We have just so many great tools available to you, and I hope you'll use them. All right, so let's talk about LinkedIn and social media tonight. So if any of you have been to my workshops, you know I start every single workshop with this message that my hope for you is that you will have a career by design, not default. Is there anyone here who's been to my presentation or my workshops that knows the three things are that will help you know if you have a career by design? Anyone in this group who's attended my workshop? I say this at every workshop. How do you know if you have a career by design? If you have a major that leads to a career path that matches your interests, your skills, and your values, that is what I consider a career by design. And I'm assuming, since you are all proactive, engaged students in your student organizations, that you do have a career by design. And I'm going to use the same message for your LinkedIn profile. I want you to have a LinkedIn profile that is really created by design, not default, that you're actively engaged with and that you are in control of. And we'll talk about how you can do that. So really, that's what we're going to talk about, just these two things: how to stand out as a potential new hire using your LinkedIn profile, and the importance of social media and networking to develop your brand. Has everyone here taken marketing classes? Did I just hear something about marketing class? Okay, so I'll be speaking your language.
They better not have taken a marketing class, the ones that don't have a LinkedIn profile. I'll get them.
Excellent. I love it. I don't want to spend too much time on the other uses of LinkedIn, but I can't help but do that. LinkedIn is so powerful for you, and it's not just for job search. So I will spend a little time on that as well. All right, so let's start out first of all with an important question about your social media. And I want you to ask yourself, is my social media helping me or hurting me? The way you know that is to Google yourself. Please do not do it now while we're in the workshop. I am asking that you please do this later when you also are in incognito mode. You need to be the recruiter who's looking you up, right? So you don't want your phone or your computer to know who you are. But I want to emphasize to you the importance of doing this and to be thinking about what is it that people see when they Google me. And it's something you should do periodically, actually, also to make sure that there isn't confidential information, anything that needs to be erased or deleted. So what percentage of employers have rejected a candidate based on their social media presence? Let's get some guesses here. You can just throw it out.
C, 79%.
Okay, we've got somebody saying 79. Does everyone agree?
B.
Okay, I think it's more like half. Nobody ever guesses 19%, or I wouldn't be doing this presentation, right? Okay, it is actually 79%. So that is more than 2/3 of employers have rejected a candidate based on their social media content, and 90% of employers factor social media accounts into their hiring decisions. So hear me when I say this. As a career counselor, I have a lot of contact with employers and recruiters, and I ask them questions to make sure that I'm giving you information that is current and accurate. So I ask them when I see them at career fairs or when I'm at recruiting events, Are you Googling candidates? And they are. They say yes. Individuals look into each separate account. They're just going to Google you and they're going to see what comes up. So I want you to be a step ahead and I want you to Google yourself. All right. In case you don't know why it's important to have a LinkedIn profile, I'm going to just share some information. I can assure you, this is another thing I can tell you with certainty in my experience, that recruiters and hiring managers are using LinkedIn. I was in an employer event where I heard the recruiter say, we hit the streets of LinkedIn when we're looking for candidates. I mean, if you think about it, how else are they going to meet you? We don't have want ads anymore. And we don't even really have, I mean, career fairs are still active every semester, by the way. There are career fairs on our campus virtually at this time, and you should all be attending. But it's not quite the same as meeting in person. But the online platform that is the most powerful for job search is LinkedIn, okay? Remember that LinkedIn is not just replicating your resume, and you will use parts of your resume to copy right into LinkedIn, but LinkedIn gives people a more personal sense of who you are. The resume is simply getting you into the door to get considered. It's not even getting you an interview. The resume gets, you want the resume to beat the applicant tracking system, the computer system, just to make sure you're being considered, that it's not being spit out before they even look at it. But it really doesn't say anything about you as a person. It's very dry. It lists your factual information, right? LinkedIn is much more personal. It shows who you are as a person, and you can expand on things on LinkedIn that you might not be able to fit on your resume. So this is about branding, really. LinkedIn is, I like to say, and I do a lot of LinkedIn reviews, by the way, and I'm happy to invite you. You are welcome to make an appointment with me for a personal LinkedIn review if you would like that. I do that with a lot of students. But I do say that I feel like LinkedIn is like your personal billboard, right? It is where you are really branding yourself. And you're letting people know beyond the resume who you are, what you value, and what you have to offer. So let me say some things about LinkedIn. It's not a one and done kind of a process. It's actually an ongoing process through your whole career. You will probably have a LinkedIn account for many years, and it will evolve along with you, right? So you will build it over time. And I just heard examples. Yes, look at profiles of others. Look at each other's profiles and get ideas. Learn from other people. Look at alumni, people who are in your field on LinkedIn. You can do these searches and just look and see what other people do. Be really aware of the keywords in your title and your profile, because that's what recruiters are doing on their side. They're using keywords to find candidates. So you want your keywords to match what you hope recruiters are looking for. Okay, like leadership, management, human resources, whatever it is that may be your interest. This is a tip. I don't get into the weeds on all of in a review, we get more detailed, but this is one of the tips that I feel is important to say in a general workshop. And that is that when you do have your LinkedIn URL, your LinkedIn profile, do follow the steps to customize your URL. And I can demonstrate that this evening if you want. But it's important to know that, just like I said, it's like a billboard and a branding. It's your personal branding. Your URL is also something that you can use. You can and should put it in your header of your resume, right? Today's modern resume has your name, your cell phone number, your email, and your LinkedIn URL, your website if you have one, for people who have them. You don't put a street address. and you can put the city and state if you want. You don't put a zip code, right? So just make sure that it's customized and you can see the difference. When you open your account and create your account, LinkedIn will just give you this URL that you see with all sorts of numbers and letters at the end, and you just edit it. And then you copy and paste that and you put it on your resume. You can put it in your signature block. If you create a signature in your emails, you can use it in your cover letters. Okay? Use your LinkedIn. Invite people to look at your LinkedIn profile. All right, this is the piece I just want to share because I think it's so important. I want to make sure you understand that LinkedIn is not just for job search. You have an interactive role in LinkedIn as well. You're also searching. So that's why I call it LIPI. This is where you can be like a LinkedIn private investigator. And it's your way of being strategic in job search and networking on LinkedIn. So the way that this works is that when you create your profile and you want it looking nice so that if a recruiter's searching for you, they see you, but you're not just kind of hanging out waiting for people to look at your profile, you're actually out looking. And you're looking for employers that you want to work for. You're looking for potential hiring managers. And this does apply to Twitter as well. Twitter has become more popular in the job world as well. So this is a place you might want to follow not only Twitter, but not only LinkedIn, but Twitter for the companies, the organizations you might want to work for. Remember that your posts and every time you share, anytime you become active on LinkedIn, this is gold. And I'm going to give you an example, a real example of how it can work. Okay. It also gives you a chance to research people. If you want to contact someone to do an informational interview, or you want to research who the hiring manager is before an interview, it's really important to do that. Like, oh, where did they go to school? How did they start their career? These are things that are really helpful in conversation and also in your hiring process. So if you wanted to do a targeted job search on LinkedIn, I use Gleason Healthcare as an example because I actually worked for them several years ago as a health educator. And I know that they hire a lot of Long Beach students as well. But I am giving this example because I just want you to see how the process works. So let's say I want to work for Molina Healthcare in Long Beach. And the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to search for them in the search bar and see what comes up. Then I'm going to follow them. So this is what's important. Please follow anyone that you're interested in working for, because it's giving you access to information you might not get otherwise. Okay. I'm going to visit the website because I need to learn about them. If I'm going to talk to anyone there, I need to have my ducks in a row about maybe what their mission is and what kind of services they provide. I'm going to look at my if I have any common connections, which would be amazing, right? Maybe I know someone who works at Molina and I didn't even realize that. And then this is a whole other piece that's really helpful is when you look at the employees and then you do a filtered search and you look for alumni. So if I wanted to click on all these, probably today, 9,000 employees, I can't go through all that. I'm not going to look for the recruiter. I'm not going to look for people who might have the position I'm interested in. But I could filter the search and look for alumni. And they're likely to help me. They're likely to talk to me if I reach out to them. So following the company you are pursuing, following the hiring manager, and just become part of the conversation. Like the posts that stand out to you, make comments, share posts, right? I always know, if I have a post, I know if someone has shared it, and I can assure you, if I don't know who they are, I click on their profile. I'm like, who is that person who shared my post? Okay, this is how it works, and it's great. Okay, you can also invite them to connect with you on LinkedIn. So this is a true story. And I'm trying to remember now. I have the email still, and I'm trying to remember what major this was. This is a true story. After I did this workshop, this student sent me an email, which made my day. I have great news. I had a recruiter reach out to me about a position opportunity. All I did was comment on one of their company posts. Okay. This was after the workshop. I was thrilled. This is not common, I'm going to tell you that. And I need to find the email because I need to follow up with her and find out if she got an interview or something, if she got the job. But either way, it's the lesson of becoming part of the conversation. People will notice you. They will look at your profile. So it's not just about you, people finding you. It's about you finding people and them noticing you. So when it comes to building your connections, because that's the power of LinkedIn, it's all about the connections. It's not just the people you're connected with, but it's all the people they're connected with. It's those second degree connections that can really help you. So think about everyone you know. You do not have to connect with only people in the work world. I mean, I tell this to every internship class that I speak in. You are all a resource to each other. Student organizations, you are a resource to each other. I've been doing LinkedIn reviews for a particular major internship class. And one of the students said that the company she works for was hiring. And I said, well, I'm meeting with all your classmates and they're all looking for jobs. Are you going to tell them about this, right? So you are there to help each other after graduation and now on campus. Reach out to each other, link in with your classmates, link in with your neighbors, your friends. It can be family. I have a niece who is a recruiter, right? I have another niece who's in PR and she literally knows everyone on the planet. So it can be your family, your friends. Reach out because the larger that web is, the more opportunity you have to make connections. And don't forget your faculty and your preceptors, right? So the way you want to think about connecting is you're going to find a hiring manager. You're going to see if you share any connections. If you did, okay, so let's say Blake wants to work at the VA hospital and he sees that Taylor is connected to the recruiter that he just found. And he's connected to Taylor because they're classmates and they become friends. And so he says, Taylor, I am really interested. He emails Taylor probably or sends her a message on LinkedIn. I noticed that you have a connection with this recruiter at the VA hospital that I'm trying to connect with. Would you be willing to introduce us in an email? These are the small steps that can make all the difference in the world. A common introduction can get you in the door. So you want to connect with people and look at their connections as well. Okay, and if you do have a common connection, don't hesitate to ask, would you do an introduction for me? If you don't have a common connection, you can still reach out to people. You can do a request to connect. So let's say I just did this randomly. I thought I'm gonna just practice with this. I'd like to know, I'd like to find a recruiter at Tenet Healthcare, right? Because that's a good role to find if you're looking for work, right? You can look for keywords in the search, HR, recruiter, hiring manager. Okay, so just for fun, I said, I looked for Tenet Healthcare, and then I found a recruiter, and then I couldn't believe it, but I had 6 mutual connections. I do not know Tracy, never met her in my life, right? So I had mutual connections. And then we both worked at Molina Healthcare, hilarious, okay? That's just something that I would say to her if I were to reach out to her because I'm interested in working at Tenet Healthcare. That would be perfect. I would say, Tracy, I'm really interested in, first of all, I would request to connect with a note. Then after I connect, I would send the message. You can even do it in the connect note. You could say, I'm really interested in learning more about Tenet Healthcare. I see we both worked at Molina Healthcare. I would love to follow you on LinkedIn, or I'd like to connect with you on LinkedIn. Okay, it's that simple. After you connect, you can then send another message and ask for an informational interview if you wish. Okay, but you will always send a note, personalize that request. When you click on connect and LinkedIn says you may, I think it looks different now, it's in message optional, it says you can send a note. No, you must send a note. Anytime you connect with anyone, even if it's one of your friends, be polite and just say 1 or 2 sentences. I'm getting ready to graduate, or I'm studying healthcare administration, and I see that you graduated from Long Beach State in 2016. I would love to be connected with you. Okay, simple as that. But you'll know what it feels like. If someone wants to connect with you and they don't send you a note, it doesn't feel that good, because you're like, what do you want from me? Who are you? And you're going to look at their profile. And you don't have to accept everybody, by the way. Okay, if people reach out to you, you don't have to accept it. It's not a popularity contest. You can be strategic in who you connect with. All right. I'm not going to get into this. I hope you all know what an informational interview is. This is your strategy to have a conversation. You can seek out alumni. You can seek out people who are in your industry. And it's a way to have a conversation. It's a mentoring conversation about their career path. I'd love to hear any advice you have for me about when you graduated and what steps you took. Right? Or I'm really interested in the VA hospital and I see you're there. What advice do you have for me to get into the VA? Okay. It's called an informational interview. So LinkedIn is one form of networking, and it's an important one, but I want to make sure that you are networking all the time, not just online. And it's really just about talking to people. Tell people what you're doing. What are you studying? What year are you in? What is your career goal? Talk to people, let them know what you're seeking. And remember other forms of other platforms on social media. Okay, and stay in contact with people too. You'd be amazed. You might, connect. Someone's Linda, Mira Lee is going to connect with Linda before she graduates. And then a year later, she needs a recommendation, but she hasn't spoken to Linda at all. She hasn't said boo-hoo, hello, anything. And now out of the blue, she's going to ask her for a recommendation. This happens a lot, even with peers, right? Like this person I worked with could really help me get into this company, but I haven't been in touch with them in 3 years. LinkedIn makes it real easy. They send you little notes that say, wish Blake a happy birthday. Taylor's anniversary. Congratulate Taylor on her work anniversary. It takes you literally 5 seconds, and it's how you keep in touch with people. Okay. Your key networking question is, who do you know who? And networking happens anywhere, anytime. Okay. Family parties, talking to the neighbor, sitting in a coffee shop, meeting someone. Okay. And I hope you're all working on that elevator pitch. It doesn't have to be super formal, but you want to have that introduction. How are you introducing yourself to people? So what do I do? What am I good at? What am I passionate about? What am I seeking? Right? Just sort of, it's scripted, but it's natural. That whole concept of, if you got into the elevator with the CEO of the company you want to work for, and you were only going to the 5th floor, what would you say to that person? And you want to practice that. All right. I also want you to remember that LinkedIn is a great job search tool. You can use all those big job search engines, Google and Monster and Indeed. There are also job search engines that are specific to your industry. But remember that you have a jobs tab right on your LinkedIn profile, and they do a really nice job of sending you job alerts. They're pretty specific because it's tailored to your profile, and it makes it really easy to keep up on, again, certain companies and certain positions. This is another feature of LinkedIn that is so important, and I think fairly underutilized. Is there anyone here? And again, you can shout out because I can't see everybody with the slides up. Does anyone here use LinkedIn Learning to supplement your skill set?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
Yes, I'm hearing
Yes.
yeses.
Yes.
Fantastic. This is something that if we were not affiliated with Long Beach State, we would have to pay for. We're all lucky, faculty, staff, students, we get this as a benefit in our single sign-on. And I encourage you to use it while you have it, okay? This is a really great way to show employers that you are a superstar. You know that there is life outside of the university courses, right? Although they are amazing and they're giving you a great education, there are some other skills that you might need to hone, and you can do that through LinkedIn Learning. They have every topic under the sun. I think you can take guitar lessons too. I mean, I think they have like everything. So check it out, because employers love to know that we want to learn, and not just college students, everyone benefits from having an attitude of ongoing learning. Okay, so I give an example. This is what it looks like, and I will show it on another LinkedIn profile, but you can actually post the courses that you've taken. And especially a lot of people take courses that are related to the technical skills or maybe their leadership skills, right? So check it out and then post it, and they will see it on your LinkedIn profile. So I'm going to talk, how are we doing here? 7:18. Am I doing okay here? Where's my facilitator?
You're good.
Okay. What I want to do now is just give you some examples. I'm going to show you 2 examples, and I'm going to talk more specifically about what I would consider a model LinkedIn profile. And for me, they're hard to find. I try to use LinkedIn profiles in a lot of my workshops, and so I issued this challenge to this class. If you have a profile that meets all, that has everything else, but especially includes these 4 items, please link in with me, and I will use an example in my workshop, because it is almost impossible to find people who have all 4 of these things. And if you want a standout profile, this is what you will do to stand out the most. So luckily, let's see, I'm going to use Erin Burnett, who is a real graduate, and I found her through a search. I just used keywords, healthcare administration, Long Beach. I wanted one of our alums, right? And she has a beautiful, this is the billboard part, right? Now a billboard is passive, people just look at it. I'm talking about the branding piece is the billboard. But remember, it's an interactive process. You're using LinkedIn as much as recruiters are using it, okay? But for that billboard piece, it is the background photo. You do not want to use the default that LinkedIn provides. That is not the intention. So this is what is the first thing that people see. What is your background photo? Generally, it reflects your industry, but it doesn't have to. A lot of people will use just things that they like. A lot of people use nature scenes or just something that has personal meaning for them. Or they do something very specific related to their industry and they upload an image. So I cringe when I see LinkedIn profiles with no background photo, because it's just like driving down the road and looking at a billboard with all the torn paper coming off and nobody's looking at it, right? It has nothing interesting on it. So be creative, it's fun. Find your background photo. The next thing that's so important is your profile photo. This is the part that personalizes your skills. And it's simple. It doesn't have to be professionally done. It's a headshot. The most important feature of your profile photo is smiling. Okay, because people are going to look and they're going to say, you know, we're considering contacting Erin for an interview because her resume looked great. And, you know, does this look like somebody that we would like to work with? Yeah, cool. Okay. The next important piece is your headline. This is what's here, this thing that says member support specialist. Because remember when I said become part of the conversation? When you like a post or share a post or comment on a post, there are 3 things that potentially thousands of people will see. It is your background photo, your profile photo, your name, of course, and so 4 things, and your headline. So I really work with students on maximizing that. It's actually 2 lines that you can get in there. And you want to be somewhat skill-based. This is where you want to try to tell people what you have to offer, and you can also use it to show what you're seeking. And profile photos now, has anyone noticed the banner that says open to work? There's an option to include that banner. It's a green banner that goes along the side and it says open to work. So this is the landing page, and this is important, okay? But number 4 is the one that is highly underutilized and has great impact. And I encourage all of you to have at least 1 recommendation on your LinkedIn profile before you graduate, okay? So let me just go through a couple things. This is my message when I do interviewing skills, when I do prepare for the career fair, and when I do LinkedIn. Y'all have to put your feathers up, okay? I mean, that the peacock on the left looks fine, but that peacock looks the same as all the others, okay? You have to be able to talk about your skills, your strengths. You've got to really kind of strut your stuff a little bit. And I'm going to share, you know, just today I met with a student. You were talking about oh no, that was somebody, that was another class talking about scholarships. We were talking about the importance of scholarships. And again, you have to show your strengths and skills when you apply for scholarships too. They also look for student organization membership when you apply for scholarships. So you are all ahead of the curve. But I really was sad today when I met a student who told me that she let a scholarship deadline go by because she was afraid of asking her faculty for a recommendation. And I talked to her about that, of course, but it's just for shy people, this whole job search thing can be really stressful, okay? And I'm here to tell you, you're going to have to work on that, because if you're not able to be feathers up, the candidate next to you will be, and they will get the job. Okay, so if you need help with being more assertive and being more comfortable talking about your skills and your strengths, get help. Career Center, me, your friends, your faculty, just practice it. Okay, it's really important. Always keep in touch with us in CHHS Advising. Follow us, please, on social media. And then I do want to make sure you all know, I'm not going to go into it right now, but we do have career resources on our website. They're in my signature block for any email that I have sent if you wanted to share those with the group. But I do workshops every week through the semester, and we have a whole career options resource for you to really look at your career plan. Okay, so what I can do now is look at a sample LinkedIn review if you want, or would you like to take move on to the next step?
So sorry. So the next step would be a Q&A, which is supposed to start at 7:30. But so if you want to do like a quick questions
Sure.
and answers.
Well, if that's going to start, can I take just a couple minutes to share a LinkedIn profile of someone
Absolutely.
who happens to be in this
Absolutely.
class?
Yeah.
Okay, they're here in this class. Oops, hang on, get me out of here. Where am I? Hang on, I gotta pull it up. Oh yeah. Yeah, I want to use a real LinkedIn page. But first, I'm going to give a plug. I always do this. I hope you all know that we have a LinkedIn group. This is also something that is a great way to network. CSULB CHHS students and alumni. If you have not already joined on that group in LinkedIn, please feel free to join and I will approve your membership. I won't go into all that right now, but it's a great resource for you. Okay, so I'm going to do this right now. How many of you know your classmate Javier? Okay, and he was warned. Thank you, Javier. Hi, Javier. Is he still here or did he leave us?
Oh, I'm still here, Amy.
All right, very nice. So I want to just go through some things with you quickly, all right? And again, this is like a super mini LinkedIn review. I go into much more detail, but I want you to see, you know, what I'm talking about here. So here, I remember asking Javier, what is that? That's so beautiful, right? It's eye-catching. His background photo makes you look at his billboard, okay? Now, I do not know why. I've met Javier. He knows I was going to call him out on this. You always should have a profile photo. I don't know why he refuses. It's his choice, but it is not a good idea. Okay, people, I mean, obviously it's not hindering him in any way because the kid, he is on fire and he's like getting jobs and internships out left and right. So he is disproving my theory, but I encourage you to have a profile photo, okay? It is important to have one. People want to see who you are, okay? All right, you've got the headline. This is important, not to just say student at California State. No, no, that means nothing. What are you studying? At least have that in your headline, okay? But again, you can add, there's more space. You could say seeking a position in something or other. All right, and then you have your common connections. Your about section is very important. This is what I call like your written elevator pitch. This is really what you want people to know about you, okay? I want you to see, okay, do you see his activity? Do you see what Javier is doing? He has become part of the conversation. He's active on LinkedIn, okay? So he has shared some posts. I want to show you what it looks like when you just like a post. So, okay, so he liked this post and that came up in my feed because we're connected. But I want you just to see, oh, he did come up, great, okay. But I want you to see what it looks like when you like a post. Okay, so here's Javier's name and his headline, no photo. Here's Kalela Cook, name. There's open to work. Do you see that green banner on her second? I don't know if you can see this very well. Is it too small? All right. So you can see open to work right there. And then really, it's quite amazing. A lot of people can look at these and you never know what can happen, especially if it's someone that you're following, a company that you're following. They will look at your profile when you become part of the conversation. Okay. Experience, try to have those logos. They really stand out. Look how nice that looks. But it's not your choice, really. When you enter this, if the company doesn't have their logo in LinkedIn, there's nothing you can do, but try to make that effort to get it there. It looks really nice. Okay, you've got your education. So some of this can come right off your resume, right? Like this could be copied and pasted from the resume. Okay, look at, this is another reason why Javier has a model LinkedIn profile. He is using, look at what he's doing. He's going to town with LinkedIn Learning, okay? If I'm an employer and I need someone who knows data analytics, I'm gonna go, wow, this guy is really making an effort to learn about that, okay? All right, your volunteer experiences. And I gave Javier a recommendation. So I want you to see what it looks like. You ask for a recommendation. I want you to think about someone that you would ask. It could be someone you worked with, someone you worked for. It could be someone in this class that you did a project with. It doesn't have to be a former director, okay? Accomplishments, honors, awards. These are all sections that students often miss. There's an entire list of headings, and I want you to make sure you go through them all. If you are bilingual in any language, it is really important to include that. That is a very desirable skill, okay? Interests, you're gonna follow who you want to work for or who you admire if you have influencers that you are interested, but make sure you're following the companies that you're interested in working for because they post jobs on their LinkedIn. They give updates about what's happening, and it will make you more informed as a candidate. Okay, so I went through that quickly, but I just want you to know that this is what a complete model LinkedIn profile looks, except for the missing photo. Okay, and when there is a way to personalize your URL, if you don't know how, there is a help section. Help right here. LinkedIn, you can even Google, how do I personalize my LinkedIn URL? You will find the information or make an appointment with me and I'll help you. All right, everyone, that's what I have to say about LinkedIn profiles. What questions do you have for me?
We have a question in the chat real quick.
Are they in the chat? Okay, hang on. I use LinkedIn Learning every day. I love it. Hang on. Very useful. Very good to see. All right, that's the, okay. All right. Oh, good job, Javier. Yes, I mean, really, everybody, you got to encourage each other, help each other out here and give each other encouragement. Very nice. Okay, what are your thoughts of including job experience on LinkedIn is not relevant to the career one is emphasized? Yeah. So one of my favorite workshops is on transferable skills. And I help students identify what their transferable skills are. So if you worked at McDonald's, it's not really about McDonald's, it's about customer service, working under pressure, multitasking. I want you to think about the skills that you gained in any other types of experiences and be able to talk about it, but you might not be putting it on the resume. So employers don't really need to know everything that you've done. They're most interested in what your experience is that's related to the field. So this is why I encourage students to get some sort of experience even before their internships. Because employers really value knowing that you've gotten experience, even if it's volunteer work, part-time employment. So it's a mixed answer. Your transferable skills are useful. Naming the job at McDonald's for a position in healthcare administration is not. Does that help or make it more confusing? Okay, what else?
Hi, I would like to ask a question. I just sent the request to the group. You said CSULB CHS student and alumni on LinkedIn. So how could I get approved from the group?
The minute I have a chance, I will approve you.
Okay. Okay.
That's
So
cool. Thank you so much for joining. Yes.
with no requirement, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Thank you.
Just being a CHHS student or alumni, although some of our recruiters join too because they want to be able to reach people there. Thank you. Good job.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. What's the group name on LinkedIn again called that
Yeah,
you were mentioning?
Let me go back. It is. It's right here. Here, I've never done this before. I'm going to approve you right now. Here you go. Boom, you're approved. Okay. Oh, I'm not sharing the screen anymore, am I? Hang on. I forgot I wasn't sharing. There you go. Can you see that now?
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. So, basically I am posting, and student organizations post as well. It is college-wide, so sometimes there will be things from other majors, but I post my workshops, which you should be getting notified of every week. And I post things that I think might be helpful to you, anything related to your career path, scholarships. But there is something I want to make sure you all know. I post Healthcare Administration Alumni Network. Actually, I don't. Eunice does. Is she here? Is Eunice here?
Usually we don't have HCAN members show up. So.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, this is mostly undergraduates. We do sometimes have master's graduate or master's program people here, master's students, but not very often.
Oh my
It's
God.
mostly-
Wait, are you telling me HCAN is grad students?
No, HCAN is alumni. So a lot of
Well, I see that. Oh, I thought it was students though too. I thought
Yeah,
undergrads
no.
were members.
it's so it's HCASF is the more like active student organization, and then HCAN is for alumni. So
Oh my
the goal is, after all of our HCASF members come here, they go after they graduate to HCAN.
Okay, very good. So yeah, you can look at her LinkedIn profile, by the way. Okay, there's another one. She has a good one too. All right. Anyway, my point is this. Who here knows about, oh goodness, Beach Nexus? Who knows what Beach Nexus is? Has anyone gotten notification of this?
Yes, I have.
Yes? Oh, Javier. Would someone please tell everyone else what this is?
So Nexus is a new mentor program for Cal State University students. So basically, we're able to search for mentors in this. It's pretty much like LinkedIn or any other social media platform. But the difference is that we can search for people that have a high position in a relevant industry. For example, in healthcare, I'm able to see them and send a request for a mentorship. And I've gotten a couple of replies back, and I've gotten a couple of informational interviews from people at Nexus.
See, this is why I wrote Javier a recommendation, because he really takes advantage of opportunities, and that's what I want you all to do. You have a lot of opportunities being presented to you, and grab them, take them, use them. Beach Nexus is cool because it's alumni who are volunteering to mentor students, and you can go into the directory and you can look for alumni who might work at the place you want to work, or in the industry you want to work in, right? So these are great opportunities, and this is why I post on this page, because according to the Career Center, you all got an email about this, but every student I meet tells me they don't know about it. So I'm trying to make sure you get all this information. Okay, so that's what this page is. And I'll be happy to approve you all. What else? Will the department send email to Okay. Anything else about LinkedIn? Do you want to go into your groups now?
I have a question. I'm sorry. I actually literally just made my LinkedIn page. I've never made
Great.
one before. And I tried looking up your page and it wouldn't come up under the search bar. Like the CHHS student and alumni page, or maybe I'm typing it in wrong, but I can't.
Maybe. Are you connected to the student who just joined?
No, I just connected like just now or I just made one just like literally now.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, I mean, you can connect with me and I will get you connected, or you can connect with the classmate who just joined, and it'll show up on her profile, and then you can click on it and you can join it that way. That's the power of connections. You'll see that she has it as a connection, right? But yeah, I will definitely help you with that. If you can't find it, you can send me an email or get connected. Dr. Martinez is also on it, I believe. You're on the group page, right? CHHS. So hopefully you're going to all connect with Dr. Martinez. Again,
If they have me in class, they'll be connecting with me.
nice. See, so there you go. So you'll get there, Mira. Don't worry.
Thank you.
If she manages to escape me, then she may not.
Is there anything that I brought up today that doesn't sound right or that seems like it will be difficult? Can you all think of one person you would ask for a recommendation? And LinkedIn walks you through the steps. It shows you how to do it. It has to be someone in your connections, however. It's within the platform. So this is the other reason why you first have to find out if that person's on LinkedIn. You do a search for them, then you connect with them, then you ask them if they would write you a letter of recommendation. All right, should we take any other questions if they come up later?
Sure. So let's go ahead. I'm going to break you out into groups, and we're all going to work on our profiles. Again, everybody can share their screens. So feel free to share your screen and go back and forth and have some really good discourse about pictures and posts and all sorts of stuff, all the advice that Amy has given us. And then I will call you back at about 8:15. So you have a little bit more than half an hour to work on your profile together. Let's get going. And then we'll come back and we'll share a quick, sorry, let me put you into breakout rooms. Okay, I will open up all the rooms.